Hi, welcome to A Talk with Armani. I am your host, Armani Iman. I have a very exciting show planned for you today. I can't wait for you to meet my very interesting and beautiful first guest. I'll be right back. Welcome back to A Talk with Armani. All the time we're on television, we're flicking through it, and we might see a familiar face pop up, and we're like, oh wow, this is exciting, let me see what's going on. And if you watch Centric, I'm sure you've seen my next guest. However, she's here today to talk about the other part of her life that she finds so fascinating. Please welcome Miss Chanita Foster. Hi, how are you?
I think I'm so good.
So you're on from the bottom up. Let's just get the obvious out the way. The obvious is you're on from the bottom up. That's Nikki Gilbert's show. I guess it premiered last year, and she had quite a few people on there. And now you are a new addition to the family, right?
I am. We're actually going into season 3.
Okay.
So I was on season 2.
Right.
I'm very excited because this year BET is rebranding.
Okay.
So the network was Centric, but now we'll be on BET Her.
Oh, okay.
So on October 1st, Centric will turn into BET Her.
Oh, that's exciting.
Woo, which
Yes.
is the first African American network for BET.
Okay.
So they're mimicking that other network where it's for all women, but this is going to be for African American women. And then also, our show was produced last year too, by Queen Latifah's
Right.
flavor unit. So it's going to be a big year for us.
Yes, and and with it, well, with Centric, with the show, period, it just showed, it was such a diverse show. I don't know if everybody has gotten an absolute chance to watch it or to even view it, but it's something that you might want to see. I know that it's on demand, and even so, you can kind of go online and check it out because it kind of chronicles the different ladies who have gone through some traumatic experiences in their lives, and they've overcome them, trials and tribulations, and they've just managed to keep on moving. Like, I've just got to keep on going. I got to keep on pushing. I'm going to get to where I need to get to.
Yes.
And that's your story.
It was a very hard yes for me. I did reality television over 10 years ago.
Okay.
When Football Wives was out. When I started reality TV, there was 3 shows.
Okay.
It was the Kardashians, Flavor of Love, and then Basketball and Football Wives. So we were kind of like the pioneers in the beginning. And from reality TV then to now, it's an extreme stretch.
Yes,
and
it's changed.
So, people will sell their soul for $1,000. You know what I mean? So when they were talking about TV, I had to tell them, back when I started reality television, we were getting paid like people on television.
Right.
I want to disclose the number, it was a lot of zeros behind it.
Right.
Now that reality television is where it is now, people just want to be on TV. They understand the power of marketing and branding and viewership. And so it was a very hard yes for me. But what made me say yes was when I suffered the depression, when I came out of it, I didn't realize how many people, no matter if they're black, white, purple, green, that go through a depression and how overlooked it is. It's just people being crazy.
Right.
And so I was like, this might be a platform for me to talk about that. I know it's TV, but if they could just see through the drama to get that part. And so that's where my yes really came from.
Right, because everybody's story can be inspirational, regardless of what it was. Like you said, if you're going through a depression, maybe losing your job, whatever it is, you don't know, by telling your story, you might be inspiring someone else to get up that morning, to go out and try again.
Absolutely.
And so I'm thankful. I mean, and I'm sure most of the audience and all our viewers are thankful that we have strong women, because it takes strength. Even if at the time you feel as though you're at your lowest, it takes strength to get on television and, for lack of a better term, strip naked and say, this is where I've been, this is where I'm at, and this is what it's going to take to get me where I want to be.
Absolutely.
I really applaud your strength for that. I really do.
In between, the biggest thing with reality TV is, as much as you try to control yourself, after you are mic'd up for 10, 15 days, you kind of forget what's going on. My kids grew up on TV, so they're used to it. And the biggest thing is you can't control other people.
Right.
So as much as you say, I'm going to go in, I'm not going to scream, I'm going to stay postured, it take that one person to come in and say something crazy, and you sitting there like, I'm trying.
Oh, Lord.
I'm trying. And,
Oh, Lord.
So with that being said,
Oh,
you know,
Lord.
yeah, it's a hard thing, but I'm thankful. We viewed in South Africa and Europe, and so once I realized, I took all of the drama out, and I realized the power of TV, I was like, okay, yes, I'm ready.
So you brought it up, South Africa.
South Africa.
So that's almost like a second home for you, literally almost like a second home for you.
It is my home. They tell me I'm a residential South African Swazi.
Okay.
My son is adopted from Swaziland.
Okay.
I from the first time I went there, I felt at home. I think people don't understand it until they actually go, but it's so rich in culture and the food and just tradition. And the one thing that I love about South Africa when you go is so many things that we're suffering from, they don't have there. I never met a person with Alzheimer's, with dementia, with autism, cancer. You really can't find it. And so when you start looking at things like that, I realized it's the quality of life, and it's actually the food. They eat a lot of fresh food. There's no processed food. And when I say they believe in holiday, they call it holiday. When I say I've never seen a whole country shut down, Europe, South Africa, they believe in holiday. And holiday means 3 weeks, we're done. We're not doing anything. Like they save for holiday. And their holidays is not like us where we be like, oh, I'm going to go to Florida, or I'm going to go to North Carolina. They're like, oh, I'm going to Greece. I'm going to the Fiji Islands, like with their kids though. And so they really believe in the quality of life and living life. And whenever I'm there, I just feel so free. You know, this thing about time, like they have a McDonald's, but if you go to McDonald's, you know how it's like fast food, 60 seconds or less? Honey, you're in the McDonald's line for about 20 minutes.
Are you serious?
Nothing.
They don't got nothing but time on their hands.
Nothing but time, and don't rush them. What we in a rush for? They don't get paid off of speed. So there, the quality of life is just different. So it's my second home. I love it.
Okay. And you have a foundation, which actually the idea for the foundation was born through your travels and also because you have 6 children. You want to tell us about it?
Well, Beyond the Game actually came about in 2008. I took my first trip to Swaziland, Africa, small country right below South Africa, and it's actually still ran by a king. So it's a monarchy. King has 16 wives. It's about absolutely. King has 16 wives. The country is still ran by the king. Is about the size of New Jersey, but my son was my first translator there. And so I ended up adopting my son, and I fell in love with the country. There were so many different organizations that want to feed the kids, feed the kids, feed the kids. But when I looked at it, I said, okay, we can feed the kids, but then after that, what happens? We feed the kids and they die? Or we feed the kids and they're not
what's
educated?
the story after that?
What happens after that? And so we began to create these programs that actually aided in school fees because school is not free. So, no, school is not free. And so for a lot of kids, you know, if your parents can't sell a cow or sell a goat, you're not going to school. School is not free for the girls. They stopped going to school for lack of sanitary napkins. So if you're sitting out of school a week, 2 weeks due to a menstrual cycle, you're out. So education goes out the door. So we began to find these little places where we said if we gave them not a handout, but a hand up, that they would be able to change their lives. And I'm proud to say, you know, since 2008 to 2017, the girls that have in my program, I have no girls pregnant. That's like an anomaly. Impossible. I have no girls out of 1,000 kid program that have become pregnant before getting married. Our graduation rate is very high. And I think after this next 5 years, I'll be able to see the fruits of the labor after this set of kids graduates and they actually go off and they're applying to go to different colleges. And my hopes and goals is that if I can raise enough funds to actually bring some of those kids from Africa to America, baby Oprah, and have them go to school on this side.
Wow, so how much time are you actually spending there? Because it sounds like you're there quite a bit. How much time are you actually spending there?
Every 2 weeks.
Are you serious?
Every 2 weeks.
So every 2 weeks you're on a plane?
On a plane. I just landed yesterday.
Oh my goodness.
So yesterday was actually my shortest trip ever. I was actually only there for 5 days, and people were so confused. Like, are you here or are you in America? Because we're confused because they're used to me staying there for 2 weeks.
Every 2 weeks.
Every 2 weeks.
And you've got 6 children.
6 children.
So you and the 6 kids.
No, just mommy.
Oh,
just mommy.
So what did it?
Just mommy.
So wait a minute. What's going on?
I'm blessed. My children are homeschooled.
Okay.
I'm blessed that they understand that they have to share me with the world. I'm excited that they understand what my purpose is. I think that I poured into them at a young age that, you know, this is what God created me to be. I didn't really choose this job.
Okay.
Some people select the job that they do. And, you know, I told them the job chose me. I didn't really choose the job.
Okay.
And so just from a young age, they've grown up packing clothes. They know that when their clothes are too small, they go in this bin to go to Africa. They've kind of processed what this looks and feels like. Every single time I offer them the opportunity to go to South Africa, they choose something else.
So have they been?
Absolutely. Well, my oldest two, the younger ones, it comes down to, you want to go to Africa or you want an iPhone? I'll take the iPhone. You want to go to Africa or you want to go to Disney World? I'd rather go to Disney World. So they haven't yet to date chose to travel with me, and I don't want to force it on them. If they want to go, they can go. If they don't want to go, they don't have to go. But we're getting closer and closer. Right now it's winter. Okay. So they don't want to go in the winter time. They're like, oh, we can't swim, but we'll just stay in America.
Oh, okay. Okay. All right. We'll just, okay. All righty. Well, thank you so much for coming on the show and talking about everything that you have going on. And again, I applaud you. I applaud you not only for sharing your life, you know, and like you said, standing in front of the mirror of this world and just saying, hey, this is me. This is what shaped me. This is how I got to be to this level of my life. But I also understand that there's so much more that I want to do. And part of me is giving back. Not only giving back, because I don't even think the term of giving back is the actual, it says enough. I think by creating more, you know what I mean? You're creating more for the people that you're helping.
Yes, and thank you so much for the platform. I applaud African American women like you who want to share and tell the stories. I think the only way that we can grow and move forward in the world is if people like you say, hey, I want to hear the story. So I just want to say thank you.
Well, thank you for having a story that the whole world can hear and appreciate. I really appreciate it. And so we want to follow you. We want to go to Africa with you. We want to go and see these children. We want to donate. We want to assist in the cause. How can we do that?
So beyondthegame.org is the website. You can go on beyondthegame.org. You can click there's donate buttons all over the website. You can follow the foundation on Instagram, of course, Twitter, all those things at beyondthegame.org. And then my personal is Chanita Foster, Chanita, Foster on everything.
Okay, all righty. Well, thank you once again. I really appreciate it. And we look forward to following you across the globe and hearing some more exciting stories. Okay. We'll be right back. Welcome back to A Talk with Armani. So you see I've donned my little trendy apron, so it must be that time again to welcome Chef Michelle. So Chef Michelle, what do we have cooking today?
Today we're going to have fresh salmon, rosemary garlic salmon. And right here you have your salmon. You have to treat it like a little baby, give it a lot of love. Okay. So we're going to start out where you have your garlic, you have your onion powder, a little bit of table salt, black pepper, and fresh rosemary, and your garlic right here.
Okay, so fresh garlic.
Fresh garlic.
Okay, so what am and this is...
That's your fresh garlic.
Okay, so how am I cutting this? You want me to cut this? Because I see it's in front of me.
It's in front of you.
The knife is in front of me, so...
So you're going to dice it up, just slice it.
Okay.
There you go.
Okay, I'm dicing.
While you're doing that, I will start seasoning the salmon.
Oh, look at me now. I'm doing dicing. Look at that. Oh, wait. Okay.
Let's see, you're doing good.
Am I?
Yes.
So I thought when you dice, you're supposed to have it like a certain, like...
There you go. You got to have that paper.
Yeah, you got to have it like that. You got to do it like, yeah, you got to do it. Oh, okay, here we go. Yeah, I do this for real, sorry. Okay.
All right.
So we've got it all diced up.
Now that's all diced up. You can leave that there.
Okay.
Just move it to the side.
Okay. Just want it real diced, nice and fine. Okay, cool.
I've already seasoned the backside of the salmon, and you want to take it, like I said, treat it like a baby.